Hey guys, today is Tuesday. Wait, Wednesday? Are we Wednesday? Yeah, we're Wednesday. Woohoo! Today's Wednesday, September 16th. I'm going to introduce you to stimulus-based multiple choice questions, and then I'm going to give you instructions on how to take the questions on AP Classroom. So I have placed for you in Google Classroom. If you go to your classwork, you will see SBMC Introduction and Practice. So if you go here, there's two files for you. One is a video and one is slides. I'm going to go over the slides with you. On your own, you need to watch this video and then click mark is done as soon as you do. So let me go ahead and go through the PowerPoint with you really quickly. So stimulus-based multiple choice questions are going to be 40% of your exam. So if you don't do well on this, you're going to have to really make up for it in the essays. You're going to have 55 minutes to answer 55 questions. So you have to be quick about it because you are going to have quotes, pictures, graphs, charts, or cartoons. Now you always want to look for the year that the document was published because that's going to give you a lot of context. If it's, let's say, published in 1803, you know that's one of two things. That's either the Louisiana Purchase or the Marbury versus Madison decision. If you get something like 1845, you know it has to deal with Texas annexation or manifest destiny. Look for clues into the time period to help you. And then number 6, the most important thing, eliminate answers that are obviously wrong. And there's usually on average going to be 2 questions or 2 answer choices that are completely wrong. Now, when you read the question, and of course this is optional, it would help if you, I guess this is really for if you have the paper copy, you could mark on it. The verb phrase tells you what to look for, and the qualifier narrows down specifically what you're looking for. So in example 2, which of the following statements best describes the explorer's needs? You're going to be looking for the explorer's needs, and of course, the best statement. So that means there's probably going to be 2 of them that are explaining the explorer's need, but you will need to find the one that is specifically the best. Which of the following is not a reason for industrial revolution? You're looking for reasons of the industrial revolution, and you're going to find one that is not according to the passage, not just background knowledge. Example verbs: reflects, explain, negate, evaluate, affect, cause, identify, summarize. And then limiters, look for these. These are really going to make or break it. Most clearly explains, the best statement. Which of the following is not an example? All of the following are examples except. Make sure that you answer those, you look at those and answer those correctly. If you don't understand what a specific word means, then leave it out of the sentence and see if the rest of the context clues will help. For example, we asked why they did not blank maize. They replied that they were not doing so in order not to lose the crop. So they didn't what? Harvest the grain, grow it, pick it. So that will help you. And of course, sow means harvest. Do you know any similar words that have the same root? So until there had been copious rain, eus or us means full of. So copious does mean a large amount. Now, this one is an example. Now, we have not gone over the progressive era, so I don't expect you to understand a lot of this. Just know, here's some background info. There were 2 progressive eras that we are going to be talking about this semester and next. The first one is going to focus on gaining rights for women, gaining rights for African Americans. The first one is to give them their freedom. The second one to give them civil rights. The temperance movement is going to be big. And that's what you need to focus on. They all also focus on helping those in need. So this quote, I'm not going to read it. You could read it on your own. Pause the video and read it. But this one is talking about how the progressive movement helped people. And it was done out of sight, carried out in settlement houses, churches, and schoolrooms. So what you need to know about it is this. It was never the role of the government to help the people during times of need. So when there were Great Depressions, or not the Great Depression of 1929, excuse me, but there was like the Panic of 1837, the Panic of 1819, all of these recessions. People were unemployed, they were homeless, they were hungry, but it was never the job of the government to help the people. it was usually the churches who helped, charities, and settlement houses. Now, settlement houses were usually run by women, and their job was to help the immigrants. They integrated them and assimilated them into society. They gave them child care so their children could, or they gave them child care so their children were taken care of while they worked. They gave them food, clothing, a place to live. So they helped immigrants, and they were usually in these large cities in small areas. So they were the ones helping the people because it was not the role of the US government. Okay? So when you look at this question, I'm only going to go over 3 examples. Number 1, which of the following activities from the middle of the 19th century most closely explains the Progressive Era reforms? So you could do process of elimination. In this document here, it never mentions the annexation of Texas or getting more land. It also does not mention anything about restricting immigration. In fact, it mentions helping immigrants through settlement houses. And it most definitely does not talk about American Indians. So through process of elimination alone, you know the answer is A. On the second example, which of the following efforts most directly resulted from the Progressive Era movements? So again, we haven't gone over the Progressive Era movements, but you can use process of elimination. Nowhere, or actually I should say, the government never created a social welfare system until after the Great Depression. So you could easily eliminate option D. Calls to restrict immigration, that it was an issue, but it was not a part of the Progressive Era. This was a different time period. So this is the case of where the answer is correct in itself, but it does not answer the question. Attempts to consolidate large corporations, this means to create monopolies. This has nothing to do with social welfare. It talks about business and corruption. So the best answer would be B. For your final example, which of the following movements from the period of 1870 to 1920 would most directly support McGirr's argument? So in his argument, he claimed that settlement houses, churches, and charities helped the people. So the movement for temperance and prohibition is going to be one of the movements in all 3. It does not talk about public corruption, so you could eliminate B and D. And then the environment doesn't become an issue until after, during Teddy Roosevelt's presidency. So you could eliminate B, C, and D and come to answer choice A. Now, this is what you need to do. Now you need to go to your Google Classroom and you need to look for SBMC practice. Follow the link. So if you click this link, it is going to take you to AP Classroom. This is where you will log in using your personal email, using the account that you created on the second day of school. Now, mine looks different than yours because I'm the teacher. But at the very top up here where it's blue, it should look like this. It should say Unit 2 Progress Check MCQ. If it's not on there, you would need to click Progress Checks on the top. I'm assuming that's what it looks like. So click that, and you are going to get 18 questions, and they are going to look like this. I'm waiting for it to load. So you're going to get 18 questions, and you're going to get them in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clusters. Something tells me 16, 17, 18 don't have a stimulus because there's no cluster. Select your answer and move on. It automatically saves your answers for you. When you are done, click Submit at the very end. So let me see if it would be 18. I don't know where it is, but it would be on there. Maybe because you haven't answered them all. It does autosave. Try to answer all of them. Now, this is not going to be a numerical grade. This is going to be a participation grade. So I have taken a grade for your historical thinking skills biography. That one was worth 20 participation points. Did Pocahontas save John Smith is your second one. Your 6 degrees of separation is your third one. Your fourth one was the Salem witch trials. This is your fifth one. Each one is worth 20 points. If you do not complete this by Thursday, then you will miss out on 20 points, and the highest grade you could get for that is an 80. Make sure that you have completed all of your participation grades by Thursday because that's the last day to turn anything in. If you have any questions, and then your going to mark it as done when you view assignments. So once you complete it, mark it as done so I know that you've done it, and I can look in Google Classroom and see how you did, AP Classroom and see how you did. It's not a numerical grade in the grade book, but it is a 20-point participation grade. If you have any questions, let me know on Remind, email me, or just ask me in class. Okay, I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.